Speaking of fly racing, let's bring him on right now. It's Jason Thomas. What's up, JT? How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
We're good. Just Michael Lindsay, talking about the 2021 already for his team. Already rolling around. Rolling
Really?
Up. Yeah.
All right.
So I wonder.
I mean, I guess it is that time. It's September. If this was a normal year, it would be full swing for that stuff.
Doesn't that every time an outdoor national goes down, I think about like where we are in the season, and then I think about what month it is, and it's kind of messes with me.
It's bizarre. I wasn't at Millville this weekend, but I can imagine like the weather, the temperature, and the leaves. You're just like, what are we doing here?
Oh, the photos were awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, JT, so you're involved with things on the fly racing side. And Michael Lindsay over here is got some riders coming up to try bikes and everything else. Like, even though we're racing, do you feel that the silly season stuff is at the same level as usual or a little bit less and everybody's kind of wait till the end of the year?
I think it depends because I don't think there's a lot of uncertainty with most of the teams. The big storylines are Barsha, which – you can go anywhere you want with those storylines today.
Ping
for Barsha.
pong, ping pong, ping pong.
But yeah, it seems like it's fairly calm because most of the guys already have homes. I think the stuff that's going on with Geico Honda is probably the biggest point of uncertainty for most of the teams. But if you go down the line, it seems like most of the teams have their guys or are close anyway. So I don't know really how to answer that. I want to say that, yes, it's kind of a weird time, but I also don't think we're going to see all of this moving around either because I think most teams are keeping a lot of the guys they have or already have their guys signed up.
I think that's where the problem lies is there is still a lot of guys in movement, and I've had a few people, where's this guy going to land, that guy, and I kind of have to struggle a little bit and go, there's not that many spots left.
Yeah.
Like, there isn't a terribly high amount. Like I said, we're all talking like the Barsh is kind of one of the last big movements.
I mean, Brayton to Penrite, right? That's done, or that's. Is Penrite coming back? Do we know that?
Penrite's trying to run, I believe, a 450. From what I heard, 450 only program next year. I think Cloud Brayton might be what they're looking at.
But are they coming back? Do we know? Yeah.
Trying to, as far as I'm aware.
Okay. All right. I feel like the Brayton thing's lingering, which we think he's going to be there, but we don't know for sure. And then MCR is going to have a spot.
Yeah, because without Barsh, there's going to be a spot. And I know that'll be an interesting one because I had spoke to Tony, and I think his position was a little bit of, kind of stand back, wait to see what happens. And kind of like what happened with Weimer a couple years ago, I think they're going to, take who wants to be there, who wants it the most, who's going to be coming to them and like, hey, I really feel like this is the place I need to be. So I can't say for sure who's going to be that spot. 'Cause I think there's a few things that they're looking at, but at the same time, I think Tony's waiting to see how the riders are more to them. It doesn't seem like they're out as hunting as much.
I just lost my train of thought. With Motor Concepts, Marty and Tedder, what do they do? Are they sticking together?
I totally forgot about that.
He's signed there. Yeah, he's signed there.
Okay. So
yeah, Marty will be there.
Did I hear someone else going to Ted Tedder's team? Like, I feel like I heard something else, or no? Was that Barsha? Did I hear that a while ago? Like a long time ago?
There are some rumors of them adding a guy. I don't know who it's going to be or what exactly is going to go on, but there has been talk of that, yes.
Do you know what bore and stroke this rider would be using?
Well, I think it depends on the track.
Or factory. We can change the bore and stroke it.
You're right. It depends on the track. My bad. Yeah, it's interesting to see what's going to happen. And there's a spot at Rocky Mountain, of course. I don't think Bogle will go back. So that's that spot too.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah, I don't have any insight there. It seems like it's an interesting spot because obviously, Blake is winning races and he soaks up a lot of the budget because he's an elite level guy and demands, high compensation. So typically that spot isn't, a huge paycheck over there, but the equipment kind of draws people in, right? So you might end up getting someone at a bargain that maybe on paper you'd be like, man, how did he sign for that amount of money? But it's the equipment that a lot of these guys are going after. So that's going to be a spot I think you're going to see a lot of guys chasing, and probably already are, to be honest. There's probably a lot of guys calling for a spot or about that spot as we speak.
Yeah, Tickle would be perfect there, I think. I really like Tickle there for the money and for the testing ability and sort of the ease of working with somebody. Tickle fits right in there.
And this is a weird one. I'm just saying.
Here we go.
Brock, KTM, the prior thing, do you think that affects that in any shape or form?
KTM has veto right on that spot. I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what makes the most sense to me, but it's not going to happen, is Mookie. Mookie makes the most sense to me. But I know he's not going to, he's going to wear 7. And I get it. That's his brother's company. I get it. But if you want to ask what makes the most sense, he's a Florida guy. He has a prior relationship. They've talked in the past. He has, the podium capability that Forrest is always searching for. He always wants that guy that can put his bike and his sponsors on television. That's a big part of that program. And it's unfortunate that those two things can't seem to work out, but that's Mookie's prerogative, and I think he has to be the one that accepts that, right? If you're going to take a hard stance, which he is, and it's respectful, you're probably going to miss out on opportunities at times too.
So Barcia gas guessing becomes fully done. Who do we feel like is going to get that last Yamaha ride? I've heard Malcom suggested there quite a few times.
Malcom was trying to get it Loretta's. I know that. That's what he was going for. So are they going to add a third guy? Do they want a third guy? If they do, then Mookie would make sense.
To me, it seems like they would just go with 2. Like they have 2. They would have 2 again. Why would you force 3 if you don't have to?
I don't know. I feel like Star offers somebody new a contract every other day. Every day, or this guy got offered this guy is. I'm like, I can't keep track of it.
Yeah, it just seems like Barcia leaving would make the books a lot easier. Like it would just make things go a little bit easier. When you take a lot of money off the budget, things happen a little bit smoother.
So who's going to get the other KTM spot? We think one of them is going to be Max Volan on 250. But there's one more spot, right, on the coast.
Now, is there?
Oh, no? Okay.
I've asked a couple times some people that are near the organization, and I've been told it could only be Volan.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought there was going to be one on each coast.
I could be wrong, but that's just what I've heard is it didn't seem like I got a lot of people being like, oh, there's going to for sure be someone else there. Right. I don't know if you heard anything, JT?
I just heard that it's going to be Max. I have not heard anything about a second guy.
I think they're rushing them, but I don't follow the amateurs nearly as close as most people. But Jesus,
at least the bright side compared to it being when it was the TLD program he would have moved into with kids being booked behind him per se is, yes, he is the factory KTM 250 kid, but at the same time he's like the only kid they're putting in. So while there is the pressure, at the same time, hopefully it doesn't lay on him too hard because it's not like he's got a bunch of people on the team to compare to. He doesn't have amateurs coming up. I would think KTM's next move behind him is Daxton, and it still would be like 2 years off, but I believe Daxton Bennick's going to end up getting retained directly through KTM. I know Star made him an offer, but it sounds like Bennick's going to stay KTM. He was kind of the next best. He finished behind Levi Kitchen in all the limited classes this year. He's only like 14.
And what's Kitchen doing?
Rode a Star bike, and now I don't know.
Fishing it near Washougal at the moment.
Why? What do you mean that? Why?
Well, that was at his podium interviews at Loretta's. They were basically asking him what was he going to do after Loretta's, because everybody thought he was going to go race the Nationals. He's no, I'm going fishing. Like I trained really hard for this race, and I'm not going pro yet, so I'm just going to go take some time to go fishing.
All right.
He rode. I believe he tested a Star bike, correct? I'd heard guys say he was down in town riding. I missed whichever track it was, but
is Romano going pro?
No, he's too young to even go. He's under 16, so even though he top 5'd B class, I don't think he can get bumped to A because I don't think he's AMA 16 next year.
So Star's going to have Fry
Pro,
Nichols, Cooper,
Christian.
Masterpool's gone.
Do we know Masterpool's there or not?
I think he's out from before he returned, I heard he was out. But then, of course, he's been doing good, so I don't know where that puts that.
God.
But before he came back, I heard he was out.
All right.
How do you let a guy go that just gets on the podium in like his first or second moto back or whatever?
It got suggested a couple, like said, the rumor kind of for him, like, hey, he might be out. And then, of course, he does it, and I see somebody talk, how can you get rid of the guy just Holstein win? Well, that's the counter-argument.
This is the team owner that apparently told Cooper Webb if he didn't jump a jump in Supercross, they were going to bench him for the main event. This is the impulsive nature over there. So you could see if that's true, which I believe it is. Yeah. Then they would see Masterpool's podium and be like, "That's it, you're in." You know what I mean? Like,
and just the wildness of like what I've heard, who they've thrown a contract at, and how short the periods are to sign it.
Right.
And just like,
right.
The other thing is we were talking about earlier is rumor per se. I've heard from somebody in the organization that they're talking about moving the whole operation to Florida possibly this offseason. They might pick up shop and move everything back there. So I mean, between expanding, going into the 450 program, bringing on all these amateurs, possibly moving the shop, new trucks, like, man, that's a lot to deal with this offseason.
No, it is.
There's literally nothing you could tell me about that team that would surprise me at this point.
Same. I literally hear something different every 2 days, so I'm just like, I'll believe any of it at this point.
Well, dude, they're going to have to expand. They can't just keep Wilbur and Brad over there to run the Ferrandis and AP operation, and you know what I mean? They need people. Yeah. They need a couple people over there to, at least to help.
Where
those
are they
guys.
getting all the funding? Is Yamaha picking up the tab for all this, or it's unbelievable to me. I mean, it's great.
Right.
We need more of this in the sport. Like, I'm all for it. I'm just trying to put pieces together.
I would think Yamaha has to, right?
I would think there'd be increased budget, but still, the amount of stuff I hear every week, I'm like, I can't keep track of it. And I don't know where the budget exactly.
Right.
It just seems like such an influx of deals they're trying to throw around that I just can't wrap my head around it.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Jason Thomas from Fly Racing on the Pulp MX Show, presented by Motorsport.com and Fly Racing, and Michael Lindsay here in studio. So, all right, let's get into the X-Brand Goggle Tear-Off, shall we? Let's do this.
Whenever you're ready.
Yeah, just... Oh, there it is.
It's the X-Brand Tear-Off segment. 15-second rapid-fire Q&A.
You can just cut that out in post, right?
Oh, no.
Trim that up a little bit?
Oh, no.
Okay.
All right, everybody. X-Brand Goggles, EKSbrand.com. EKS20 at motorsport.com to save with those guys as well. Alex Ray using X-Brand Goggles to finish both motos this weekend, everybody.
Hallelujah.
Yay! Justin Rodbell as well using X-Brand Goggles. EKS, the brand of champions. Big things coming from those guys soon, too, as well. And, again, use the code to save at motorsport.com or Pulp Show code as well. Works on EKSbrand.com. The goggles and the choice of champions everywhere. These questions are submitted by Corey Moser. Do you know him at all?
Who?
Yeah, I don't know either.
I'm familiar.
And they're supposed to be rapid fire, so here we go. All right, let's do this.
Steve,
Yep.
If you were a rider whose contract was up this year trying to secure a ride, who do you want your agent to be? And you can't say no agent, and you can't say yourself.
Let's go Mertz. Lucas Myrtle. Let's do that.
JT, will Barsha fare better on the gas compared to the Yamaha or Suzuki?
I think he'll be more consistent. I don't think his top level will be better because he was winning at his top level, but I think the tracks where the conditions are maybe not as favorable on the Yamaha, he'll be as good or better on the gas, so that'll put him in better championship contention.
How many times do we use the word Barsha Bam Bam on the gas?
Hey, is Bam Bam on gas? Yes, or no?
Yes. yes.
Michael, is MXA the laughing stock of Moto Media?
No. They have been at times, but there is somebody that is more laughing stock.
Such as?
God,
What's the guy's
gargling
name?
the mic,
YouTube. Hopper. I don't even know if that qualifies me, but Hopper's pretty bad.
The Hopper is
and your buddy Chris Mushy is not so favorable at the time.
Hard hitting over there.
All
right,
Steve, what is the ideal number of riders to have on one team, and how many do you think Star will have in 2021?
I think 450 class 3 guys. I'd like to see going back to 3 guys. I know we don't
3
have that
really
anymore. Yeah.
Okay.
Remember, JT, I was on the super team of Villeman, Ferry, and Reed. So
right.
that seemed to work pretty well. So
I like 2. I like 2 for 450.
JT, do you think Dungey comes back in 2021?
Yeah.
The pause there.
Just trying to do Moser proud is all.
I do. I don't know that it's going to be exactly the way we think it is on the. I don't know if it's going to be on a Honda and everything that we are guessing at right now, but it seems like he's pushing pretty hard to want to do this. I don't think it's the best idea ever. I would, if it were me advising him, I'd say let's just let's just not do this. Let's do something else. But he seems like he really wants to do it, and that's probably the biggest factor.
Hey, he picked a hell of a year to try to do it.
Yeah.
Just
Michael,
added to 2020.
right. Michael, what's another privately funded team that you look up to or aspire to become?
Somebody I actually look up to, but partially for different reasons, just beyond on-track results. Dave Eller that runs the Phoenix Honda program. Really enjoy dealing with those guys and some of the stuff David does.
Post
even
Justin?
away from the track.
Post
Justin.
Okay,
Yeah, no,
all right.
Justin's
just
the
checking. Just
no,
checking.
yeah. Post Justin, by far. I still feel that gets brought up every once. I like to tease him about it. It's
I don't understand this guy
thing.
though. If he's a super successful businessman and all this, like, why would he trust the team to a guy like that?
They're gonna be owing everybody an apology, Steve.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
We're all gonna owe him an apology.
Yeah.
Amstes, Jesus.
Steve, why does Kiefer hate e-bikes?
I don't know.
Wait, Kiefer hates e-bikes?
Yeah, he hates e-bikes. I don't
I don't want to talk to him later.
I'm with you. I don't know.
Take his name off today's
We went out
show.
mountain biking twice last week. I went down to California Road with him. He goes out there. He's got no gloves, just his bare hands. He's got sunglasses from the Sunglass Hut. Like, they're not cycling glasses. They're just open Oakleys. Like, that you would just buy them at the Sunglass Hut. He's got shoes that are probably 20 years old. And I'm like, what do you do? And he's like, I'm a soul rider.
So this comes from
I'm just, what the fuck are you talking about?
So this comes from the guy that can't wear anything mismatching on
Right,
moto.
right.
Mr. Pristine.
Yes.
He goes that realm and it's just F all.
Yeah. And he's a soul rider with no gloves. No, he doesn't have Strava. And nothing like that. So, go figure.
Chameleon snowboard Samsonite. Fuck it, I'm out.
Yeah. All right.
JT, when's the last time you ate a carb?
On purpose, it's been a long time, but there are small numbers of carbs and lots of things I eat.
Oh, Tits, do you want to tell JT how you're off the keto bandwagon?
This week. I'll go back on Sunday, then I'll go back off Wednesday and
You can't
back
do
on
that.
Friday.
You can't do
and
that because JT.
It's just less effective.
I
is
said
all.
to JT, have a cheese quesadilla for fuck's sake. Just have one. You
Right.
love it. And he said, no.
Right.
You cannot do that. You cannot have any carbs.
Before today, I hadn't had a carb since 2004, and then this was the first time. And
Those
Depends
tacos
if you
got
want
you.
to stay in ketosis or not.
right, yeah.
Just,
So I just off and on. Yep.
That doesn't sound good.
complete ridiculous. This. All right.
All right, last one.
Steve, you are hell-bent on wanting to lose weight and get more fit, but you mock the way that I have chosen to do exactly that.
That is not true.
That is exactly true.
I
say
think
I'm missing the part where it's
everyone
true.
just needs to look in the mirror. Like when it comes to Kiefer and the e-bikes thing, you and the keto thing, and then JT and whatever thing he's going after right now, then just think about
Tits,
the double
I
standard.
just want the man who loves ketchup and cheese quesadillas, or chicken quesadillas, more than anyone in the world, to have ketchup and chicken quesadillas. Once
JT,
again.
would you
But
put
if I'm
ketchup
not-
on your cheese quesadilla?
No. But my whole thing is if I'm not worried about it, if it doesn't bother me, then why does it bother you?
Your happiness, you don't even know. You've buried your unhappiness.
right, okay.
I'm getting
So
You
you are
think you're
deciding-
happy, but you're not.
Right.
Exactly.
You're deciding my happiness for me. I
Okay,
guess.
now I'm getting scared. This group seems serious enough. I'm picturing JT getting like tied down at a race here and a chicken quesadilla being shoved down his throat.
No, I would never resort to something like that. That's just savagery. But it's just this keto thing, Michael. It's just the biggest pain in the ass for him ever.
Oh, trust me,
not,
I
though.
traveled in Japan with him when me and him walked around for like 2 hours trying to find a place to eat.
Oh, really? Oh, you don't say. Oh, wow. Imagine that.
Well, we're
Imagine
in
that.
Japan, Steve. We're in Japan.
We
so
couldn't read any of the
hold on-
menus.
hold on for
We
a
couldn't
second.
read any of the menus.
I mean, go ahead, JT.
No, we're in Japan. We couldn't find anything that I could recognize. What do you mean?
I agree with him. I was actually scared of half the menus. You're like, what is this?
Well, Tits is off the keto wagon, and you've lost
Yeah, we're
one.
going to circle back to this on Wednesday when he gets back on.
Yes, I'll be back on.
You lost a soldier.
Joins the club.
All right.
Are we going?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's more?
Last one for Michael. Test rider, media, Team owner. What moto industry job do you want to try next?
What's left? I've done photography. I've done videos, media.
Are you going to do the media thing more than what you did? Because you kind of didn't do what you said you were going to do.
Yeah, I know. Race team were in my life.
Yes.
2 sponsors screwed me. I had to do a lot more work than myself than I was planning to. Of course, the end goal is, yes, to do more media stuff next year.
What sponsors screwed you?
CBD companies. Screw CBD companies.
Oh, boy.
Stupid CBD companies.
X-Man Goggles, choice of champions ever. Hit up an energy drink company. They got lots of money.
I was told CBD companies were going to be the next energy drink company. That was false.
Well, yeah, I haven't really heard much about the CBD guys coming in. Like, there's 8 million of them, but has one really grabbed the market? Not really like they thought they would, right?
I could be wrong. Maybe JT cancer. So other than CBDMD, did anybody actually come in our sport and spend any money?
Alias CBD.
Well, I mean, I don't know how I count that with Grondal. Make motocross.
Well, I mean, they do sponsor some things in our sport, so that's really all I was going off of.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think there have been a few bounce around here and there. I'm trying to think of the names of them, but I can't off the top of my head.
I've seen a couple like small ones with privateers doing helmet deals and stuff. I was thinking about teams other than Chad with the CBDMD and then said Guy Cotheas with Grondal. Did any other teams get one this year?
That was Dino.
But I forgot about that.
Yeah, what happened to that? That's the Blazarian guy?
Yeah.
Is that still around? Does Dino still talk about that?
Yeah, Ignite.
Okay.
I don't think he is sponsored by Ignite anymore.
Okay.
But he was. I mean, I think that was a pretty good deal for him at the time.
Yeah, I wonder what happened to it, right? Like, I'm sure whatever they broke off was a small chunk of what they actually have, right? Because Blazarian guys loaded. So I wonder why they left the market. Like, did they not see our sport as being very,
censored, bro?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe, right?
Actually, the censored stickers got them basically more attention than I think just having their logo there.
Right. All right.
New marketing strategy. I'm going to take any new incoming sponsor and just put censored.
I know, right? Yeah. End up doing that. JT, are you ready for future headlines? I know you've been dying for it. You ask about it every week. So are you ready?
I'm ready. Yeah, it's my favorite segment of the show.
All right, let's do this. Future headlines, everybody.
Take me to your future headlines.
All right, these are potential future cycle news headlines. You have to pick one or the other, JT. That's it. You have no other choice. Michael Lindsay, I'll also involve you in this, of course, as well. So you got to pick one or the other. Which one will we be reading in cycle news? The paper edition, let's assume, is coming out. So
okay.
All right. First up, Baggett busts out a 1-1, or Baggett bombs away to no wins. The last 3 races. Which happens, JT? Baggett bombs out.
Does it have to be 1-1?
Yes.
Shit.
Baggett busts out a 1-1.
Where's your face?
Or Baggett bombs away to no wins.
I remember why I don't like this game. I'll go option 2 because I think 1-1 is going to be really difficult.
Someone put on Vital that JT thinks Baggett's going to bomb out.
Yeah, fuck you.
All right, Michael Lindsay. Next three races left. Which one are you going to go with?
I'll go with 1-1.
All right.
I just want to see I just want to see El Chupacabra one time this year.
Would it be Colorado where he won before?
Actually,
out of the 3 that's left,
I was watching that replay of him bombing around Eli on the outside down the hill.
Right.
That was sick.
I don't have a famous father.
Can I take back my F-bomb? I shouldn't have said that. That was out of line. Inappropriate.
So inappropriate.
Take it out in post.
Love this guy right here.
Okay, here we go.
What the fuck are you doing?
All right. This is for 2021. Bam Bam gasses it to 5 wins in 2021.
Option B.
Or Bam Bam runs out of gas in 2021. 5 wins.
Yeah, I already.
Yep. Okay.
B.
All right, Michael Lindsay.
B.
All right. Okay.
5 wins is a lot.
He's got 3 this year. Right?
That's a lot. It's almost double.
All right.
I'll go back to what I said earlier. Can we do the future headline? Bam, gas, yes, or no?
All right. 2 more. Wacko Zacko goes crazy on the competition and wins the title, or AC aces last 6 motos and wins the title?
B.
AC?
Mm-hmm.
JT? Wacko Zacko goes crazy, or AC aces?
Mm-hmm. I got to go Zacko.
All right.
I got to go Zacko.
Last one. Here we go. A-Ray racks up points in 3 out of the 6 motos,
B.
or A-Ray lays it down with more DNFs. Got to go one or the other.
Fuck my ass.
It's just in there. Please find the drop.
I will go B because I think it really helped A-Ray having a brand new motorcycle, but his bike's not going to be
But
brand
it's
new.
it's no longer brand new.
No.
Michael?
I said B before you even brought it up.
A-Ray lays it down with more DNFs.
Yeah. Sorry, A-Ray.
Oh, you guys are dicks.
You're the dick that wrote these.
I'm just giving you a choice. Don't shoot the messenger. That's been Future Headlines, everybody. Fantastic. Future Headlines, Jason Thomas's favorite segment of the show, without a doubt. Thank you to Motorsport.
It was a nice little I don't know the right word. Reunion.
I couldn't take you harassing me over the segment anymore. Couldn't do it.
Hey, JT, I got a rider rumor mill one for you. Have you heard if anything's going to happen for Marchbanks at this point?
Man, I've heard lots of things, but nothing really definitive on where he's going to land, which is crazy when you look at how
won
he was
Daytona
riding this year. Yeah. Yeah, I have heard lots of things. Some of it I probably can't repeat.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't end up on a factory bike next year, someone needs to be blamed for sure.
He the Rockstar guys, are they keeping Mosman and Swole? Do we know?
Moseman, yes. Well, no, I think. JT?
Okay. All right.
I think that's a fair assessment. I don't know contractually what they're obligated to, but I can't imagine that Swole is high on their priority list right now, the way he's riding.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to a couple phone calls here before we let JT
but if
go.
they run another 250,
First up is
four-man team.
Jake. You got a
Or
question for
seven-man team.
Michael Lindsay, Jake?
What's up, guys?
What's up? What's your question for Michael Lindsay?
Hey, Lindsay, so next year, you're coming into this, you rough first year, whatever, you're going second year. Have you considered getting out Supercross and going to do anything different off-road wise or anything, or is Honda kind of sticking you in Supercross?
Honda already has, like, the off-road racing programs. They've kind of got something for everything. You've got David Eller's Phoenix program is GNCC and Arena Cross and Supercross East, and then Mark Samuels, who's a good friend of mine, does, like, Baja, West Coast off-road, those kind of things. So, like, they kind of got a program covering everything, so there's not really an avenue that I think has any interest. So, and Supercross works out
if
these.
If Eller's team was to go away Honda-wise, like leave Honda or whatever, would you go that route or no?
No. David bleeds red, but number two, I don't. Like, I'm based out here. I don't know anything about GNCC. I did some West Coast off-road stuff when I was racing, like I said, which is Mark's realm. That would be the only thing I would consider outside of a Supercross type of venue or outdoor motocross, but that's Mark's area. Any stuff on the East Coast I have no experience in. I would be completely shooting myself in the foot even raising my hand for that.
Thanks for the call, man. Thank you.
Hey, real quick question. If a new sponsor wants to come on board with you guys, with you, Michael, next year for your team, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Reach out to me. The most one people say is like, hey, social media. My email's a little harder to remember, but my email is my name, Michael Lindsay, LINDSAY 512@gmail.com. So if you guys reach out to me directly, I would greatly appreciate it.
All right, sounds good, guys. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Do you want to hash out a deal with Fly Racing right now for 2021 with JT on the line? I mean, we can.
Live negotiations.
Whatever FXR is offering you, we'll double it at Fly.
Damn, I didn't realize you had this kind of power, Steve.
I don't know that we can honor that.
Why? Why can't we?
I will give you Craig's email if you would like to address this with Craig. But that's about the best I can do.
We'll double it. Just
Why do I feel like he's the day shift manager, just handing out like free meal coupons?
JT's a CSR for Pulp Mix Fantasy. He's already been.
Steve's goal in life is to make me as uncomfortable as possible.
I mean, honestly, we like what you're doing. You know.
I would like to have Chris Bloss back.
I don't got Chris Bloss anymore. Go talk to the AJ Husky team.
I don't know what to tell you.
This interview is over.
Go talk to the AJ guys.
The AGE guys just signed the guys that left them before. It's very strange.
Oh, it's been a whole circle. I'm so over the bouncing back and forth about that thing.
Another call on 4 about Mookie. Cody, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, guys? I just had a quick question about Malcom. Pure speculation. I heard he'd rather retire than go back to MCR. Just wondering what you guys know about that, and if it would be about him running the BLM patch, Black Lives Matter, and, a small company like that not wanting to get involved with all of that.
Absolutely not.
No, I didn't. When Malcolm ran that in Salt Lake, I didn't hear one bit of blowback from anybody, team-wise or Honda or anybody. I don't think that was it. I just don't know. Michael, maybe you know. Like, they don't really – like, I know there was some – money-wise, Malcolm wanted more money than what MCR wanted. But, I mean, there appears to be bad blood there.
I think there was definitely a little more preseason. I think there's been some butting of a head, some not seeing, the same light. I will say I hope I'm not overstepping this too much from the team standpoint of their end. I did ask over there, like, hey – where did it come to?
Right.
And what I got told was, I think it may have been at Salt Lake. There was a quick discussion about next year, and they said the dollar amount thrown out by Malcolm was, they said triple what they paid him this year and not within their budget. But on their hand, the person who told me this answered, we think he is worth that way. We just don't have, we can't pay that.
Right.
Simple. They didn't say anything along the lines of they're like, he's a big name. He has a draw in a way, but that's just outside of what we can do.
And I heard there were some things, the way the team was ran, that the Stewarts didn't like. And I get it. They're not a factory team. They're not run that way. Mike Genova, I know from Tony Berluti working there and other mechanics and stuff, like, they don't just go out and everybody gets their own room and everybody gets rental cars and everybody flies first class. They don't run that way. JT, you know how the factory teams run it. They'll give you like $3,000 a weekend and you do whatever you want with it, but that's not the way, Moto Concepts runs. That doesn't, and I think that wasn't ideal for them. So they're not too stoked with that end of things. But I mean, they're a private team. What do you want? Right? So I see both sides of it.
Yep. Yeah, I just hadn't heard anything about it and was just wondering if, Genova maybe told them and that pissed Malcolm off. And,
no, I had nothing about that. I honestly didn't hear anything about that at all. So, but
I could see how Genova wouldn't want that, that.
No, I don't think.
I don't think so.
Everything I've heard from them, like literally when you say that, and I asked around the pits, like nobody had a word to say. No sponsors, nobody, no.
Yeah. So thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you.
It just does seem odd, JT, that I like Malcolm and I like Roger Larson at 7, who's a big part of his career. I like them both. But 2 years in a row, Malcolm wasn't on the line for Anaheim 1. He's gotten fill-in rides. He had his own team that didn't work out. He finally finds a home at MCR, sets career best records. The bike is good. Is the team factory Honda? No. But it does seem odd, JT, that this thing's just, they went for a divorce.
Yeah, I think it is tough. I think you're onto something with, you got to remember that Malcolm grew up in the shadow of James, right? And Big James is a big part of Mookie's program. And for little James's entire career, he had everything taken care of. Literally every whim or every problem or every ask was answered with a yes all the time. They got what they needed at every turn. And for Mookie, I'm sure Big James wants the same, right? He wants him to get factory equipment. He wants him to get paid more. And when you're on a private team like that, it's just not always possible. So that's my outside analysis, that there's just a little bit of butting heads over, the limitations of a private team, even with Genova going above and beyond what's probably logical to spend.
Yeah.
There's still a gap there between what Mookie would really like to have to be able to compete with, Eli Tomac. That's just not realistic to be on a privateer team, and it's probably a little bit frustrating.
But,
that's just part of it. I mean, that's part of being on a private team.
He doesn't do outdoors. And you want to talk about the team, Brayton has told me, and I think he said this publicly, Brayton never made more money than he did this year at Motor Concepts when he won Daytona. Because their contingency program, their bonus program is really good. You got to earn it.
Yeah.
So financially, it's there to be earned. It's kind of how Mike Genova believes in it.
I think it's just tougher. Malcolm, winning the 250 title, like you said, basically. So now I just, I think their expectation of where they're going to end up. Malcolm has improved, but it's I don't know if they thought this year, it's enough now to jump to that full factory team, but there's still
he doesn't do outdoors.
Even that, if we're talking about just even if it was Supercross only deal, I don't think his year was still quite enough to warrant. If a team was interested in that spot, they're still, and considering the whole landscape of everything in the industry right now, if I'm just from the outside looking in, just on just a couple basic facts, it'd be like, man, it seems better to just get through it, stay together, take the ride for another year, try to build, and if your goal is to get there, it seems like he still just needs to step up just a little bit more to maybe get what he's looking for.
I agree, as good as he was it enough to get one of those, spots on a elite factory team? Probably not, when you look at the guys who have them.
And I think the hard part's still the gear deal, too. You take the gas thing into effect. Barsha has, we all know roughly what his A-Star deal's been. Justin makes really good personal money there, and he's willing to give, in a sense, that up to take the opportunity to be on the equipment and be on a factory effort.
Yeah, I mean, if Mookie gets offered a gas deal from TLD, which we don't think he has, but if he had and said no because of the gear, that's just foolish. That's just complete foolish. So, all right, Bucko's on one. Bucko.
Hello.
What up, Bucko?
All right. My question is, with AC in position to maybe win this title, the 450 title, it made me start thinking: has there been a time in a season where a team has held both the motocross and supercross titles for the premier class by two different riders in their team? Can you think of a time?
Well, for sure in the 80s with Honda and Bailey and Johnson, Diamond.
No, I mean the 250s, not the lights, not the 125 class with Diamond.
Well, Bailey got a 500 title. RJ got the Supercross title.
Oh yeah, with the 500. Yeah, but I'm thinking modern times, just with the the main class.
Right. Yeah, modern times. Because generally speaking, Bucko, there's a one elite guy and one sort of secondary guy, right? Generally speaking, right?
Yeah, that made me think that. Well, when I was watching it the other day, they had the Supercross title with Tomac,
right?
And he's nowhere to be seen for the motocross this year. And
I got one.
Emergence,
I got one for you.
Maybe.
I got one for you. Dungey Supercross, Roxon
Outdoors?
The last year Roxon was on KTM?
Or did Villa win the Soupy title that year?
I don't know.
Because Villa won.
Yeah, so the Ryans held it for a long time just in themselves.
We have to go back. Mark's
both each.
Mark's is Googling it as we speak.
Yeah, man.
All good. Okay. Enjoy the show,
thanks,
mate.
Bucko.
I just thought I'd ring that call anyway.
Thank you. What do you think, JT? Anybody comes to mind? Did Dunge win that year that Roxon won the outdoor?
First year 450?
Well, first year. What do you mean first year 450? What do you mean?
Roxon won the outdoor title in 14
on a KTM,
and the Supercross title.
That would have been Villo in 14.
Would have been Villo.
Yep. Okay. All right. So still haven't seen an answer then to it.
Yeah, I got nothing.
JT's out. He's just out.
Yeah, Villo won.
I was trying to think if I could come up with anything, but that was Roxon's first 450 year.
Right.
Villo won the Supercross title. Kenny won the outdoor title, and then Dungey won both titles the next year. And then 16, Roxon had switched to Suzuki, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. So it hasn't happened. All right, flyracing.com. JT, anything else you want to talk about? WW Ranch this weekend. You think it's going to be hot? Have you checked it out lately?
It's going to be like mid-80s. It's not going to be like last year. Last year in June, you're talking mid-90s. It's not going to be like that. Humidity will be down a little bit. So, yeah, a tough day, but nothing like normal Florida summer. So probably the biggest fitness test these guys will face, because I think Colorado it could even be cold.
Yeah.
It snowed there 2 weeks ago. So, yeah, this may be the only considerably warm race we face, and that track's going to be brutal. So for a guy like Wacko who's looking for really tough conditions, this could be an opportunity for him to flex some fitness.
Right.
Hey, 1998 McGrath Supercross Henry Outdoor, both Yamaha?
Yeah, not same team, but close enough, maybe?
But both
sure.
OEM, but both Yamaha.
Yeah. Okay. Sure, we can take that. What do you think happens this weekend at WW Ranch, JT?
I think Zacho gets back on track. I do. Having said that, AC is going to be very, very good, because this is a track he's practiced on. They were going up there last summer before the National practiced on it, and this is Florida dirt, right? This is the kind of track that AC grew up riding on.
Yep.
So even though I say Zacho's going to get back on track, that doesn't mean he's going to beat Adam straight up. I really expect those two to start to separate themselves, because they are going to be so focused on this title, where a guy like Eli may start to his give a damn radar might start to go down a little bit. So I think we're fortunate to have a title that may go all the way to Paula, the last moto, where it didn't seem it was going to head that way.
Oh, sorry, I was talking to my producers. Okay.
Oh, okay. I thought you were checking the football game.
I mean, Michael Lindsay could jump in here at any time, but okay.
I've been jumping a lot. I was trying to shut my mouth for once.
Do you think? Do you agree, JT? Zacho gets back on track. Michael?
Do I agree? Yeah.
Yep.
I just think fly out the last two between. I don't know. Yes, AC's on a run, but it's just hard. Like they both have won 250 tiles. I just don't know if they can both run it to the end. I'd love to see them both do it, but of course something could happen, and one of them could get a nice little gap before we get to the end of this.
Yeah.
I hope we come down to a finale, like we talked about, a game between Dylan and Jeremy, Zacho and AC. I hope it comes to the final round. I hope we get two great championship
How about
fights.
just a 450 title? There's no Marv. He's in there, but there's no Marv Roxon. There's no Tomac. You right? Like,
yeah,
he's a little odd. It's cool. It's really cool. I mean, Marv could still be in there. Don't get me wrong, but I don't like Tomac's chances. But
it definitely beginning. If you would have told me like it would be, or it would have been AC and Zacho for the title.
Yeah.
And Eli had not. You're telling me, and Eli didn't get hurt.
Right.
And Kenny just didn't show up. Everything I would look at me like, whoa, what fantasy land are you living in?
Yeah, no, it's interesting for sure. So, all right, JT, thanks, man. Thanks for coming on. Flyracing.com, everybody, please check them out. The 2021 stuff is out. The guys have hit a home run with it. They've done a fantastic job, and I'm hoping to get out on my new Blue Crew this week, JT, and try out some 2021 gear.
So I rode. I know I get a lot of heat from Kiefer for not riding.
Oh.
I rode last Friday.
Whoa! What did you ride?
I neither here nor there.
What?
No, I rode. We have a Husky here at the shop. So I rode that, and I am I'm doing some filming on Wednesday. So I will be out motoing again on Wednesday.
Oh wow!
Don't call it a comeback.
Yeah, you are
really putting in the time.
You are fucking back.
Hey, what happened to the whole who was riding more in the year thing?
Poor Marks.
I won.
Yeah, JT won. Marks?
On a technicality, maybe.
A technicality?
Technicality. I just rode more than you did.
Technicality called he actually loaded his motorcycle up and went to the track.
Yeah. Marks ate shit, remember? He went down hard on the Blue Crew.
Isn't it? I thought it was because he rode like an hour before me or something.
That is true.
It was the same
I got
day.
in before you did.
Was that it?
You got to be in it to win it, though.
Yeah, what are time zones?
Early
anyway?
bird gets the worm.
That's right. You were down and out. You had a big get off, and it really set you back. But I capitalized on your mistake.
I'll show you.
Really what it came down to.
That was a real championship fight there.
It really was.
One for the ages.
All right, JT.
Rematch.
Yeah, go ahead. He's motoed down twice now on a Husky. Can't believe it. Kiefer will be so happy to hear this.
Are we gonna have a Pulpamex championship? Finally, something.
Kiefer will he's the only one who cares, so Kiefer will just give it to him. We'll literally, we'll just give him the pulpy and be like, yeah, you beat us all, Kiefer, here you go. So
Kiefer would train all year and spend $10,000 to be ready for this PulpMX championship.
Exactly. All right, JT. Thanks, man.
All right, guys.
Appreciate it. That's Jason Thomas, everybody from Fly Racing, flyracing.com. Mark has a KTM.